All right, Sophie, tell me when to
Let's
kick
get
it.
started.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, for those of you that I don't know or haven't had a chance to meet, welcome. Thank you for coming tonight. I'm Melissa Arias, and I'm the president and CEO of our local Make-A-Wish Alaska and Washington chapter. And I'm really delighted to be here with Shay and Mike and Colleen, and the majority of tonight, you'll get to hear from them. But I wanted to start us off a little bit by sharing with you another side of me, and when I'm not being president and CEO of Make-A-Wish, I'm a mom of a 16-year-old boy, and philanthropy has been a huge part of his life, maybe because his mom has worked in the nonprofit sector for about 25 years. So the poor guy had no idea what he was being born into. But I do think that a lot of families over the years have come to me and said, how do you get your kids involved in conversations around philanthropy and volunteerism, and how do you engage them more? And I can only speak for my personal situation, but really early on, my husband and I made the decision that when we did anything that we would include Gabriel. And we started when he was very young, probably even younger than he was able to understand what was going on. But if we celebrate Christmas in our household, so if we went to the mall and we saw a giving tree, we might grab a tag, and we'd engage Gabe in helping us pick the item on the tag. Later on, when he got older, he would come with us to do service projects. Gabriel has pulled invasive weeds and planted salmon. He has, helped with me with food deliveries. He's worked at the senior center, and probably many of you, and I apologize if they were crooked, have received a hand-folded, stamped, and sealed envelope with a thank you note in it from Gabriel, because he is often the one helping me get those out the door every week. And he's always been really curious because we've kept him engaged, and we talk about the work that we do with him all the time. And we started when he got a little older doing some other things. And these might be right for you, they might not be right for your family. But when Gabriel got a gift, let's say from grandma for Christmas, or for doing well on his report card, he had to pay a 10% tax on that gift, and it went into a separate piggy bank. And at the end of the year, we counted up all that money and asked Gabriel to figure out where he wanted to make a donation at the end of the year. And so he would get to think about all of the things that he appreciated in his life and what he might want to give to. And so we've been doing that with him since he was, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, and all the way through to today. And what I have to say now, having a teenager who's driving and thinking about colleges, he's a junior this year, is it's been really phenomenal to watch him grow personally in his engagement with philanthropy. He now drives our family philanthropy. In the beginning of any month, he'll come to us and say, Mom, I hear about this thing that's going on in the world and I want to get engaged. Help me get engaged. Or when you and Dad are thinking about making your philanthropic decisions, I really, and he doesn't use the word philanthropic, but when you're thinking about making your giving decisions, these are the things that are really important to me. And would you consider those? And then he now makes his own gift every year. And so it's been really a wonderful moment for me to watch his growth and to think about ways, when I think about Make-A-Wish, of how we can involve our Make-A-Wish families in helping wishes be granted. And so that's really the core of what we're going to talk about tonight. So before I get us started with Shay, we're going to do a fun little opening activity. So as many of you know, many of the people on this call are wish granters. And we have 5 types of wishes, as you know, or maybe you've received a wish, so you've been through this process of thinking about wish granting, or you've maybe read about it in a newsletter. But we have wishes to go, wishes to be, wishes to meet, wishes to have, and wishes to give. So here are some great examples that we have. There we go. And what we're going to ask you to do is just take a minute, 2 minutes actually, look around the room, what's close to you, maybe it's on a table, maybe it's in the room, and grab an item that maybe attracts you to one of those types of wishes. Maybe there's a magazine with a photo of Hawaii in it, whatever it might be. So we're just going to give you like a minute and a half, and go ahead and type in the chat box what item you have found in your room that matches to one of those 5 categories of wish. So I'm just going to wait a second. All right, we see some stuff popping up. Sophie, I can't see the chat. So, ooh, pumpkin, Denise. PS4 controller, awesome. A bobblehead, very cool. We do tons of sports and celebrity wishes. Those are cool. Lots of cool stuff. Awesome. Well, I hope that helped get you in the mood for what we're going to talk about tonight. So now I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to just thank you all for playing. So thanks so much for doing that. And it's really my pleasure to introduce you to the stars of tonight's conversation. And that's our Wish alum, Shay, and her parents, Mike and Colleen. Hey, you guys.
Hello.
Thank you, and thanks so much for being here and working through all the technical stuff with us tonight so that we could share this conversation with so many. I'm really excited to have you here, and I'm super excited. Sorry, I keep moving my screen around here. To get a chance to talk with you, especially Shay, because I haven't had a lot of opportunity to hear directly from you. So I thought that maybe you could start us off tonight, Shay, and tell us, what was your wish?
My wish was to meet the actress Dove Cameron, who played my favorite character in the Disney movie Descendants.
Awesome. I too have had an interest in meeting Dove Cameron one day, so I am excited that you got to do that. Why did you choose that wish to meet?
Because when my wish was granted, my absolute favorite movie was Disney's Descendants. And that was one of my favorite things ever. So that is why I chose that.
That's awesome, Shay. Was it difficult for you to choose that over, you know, a trip to Hawaii or a puppy? Other things you could have chosen?
Well, it was a little bit difficult because it was really between meeting Dove Cameron and getting a dog. And I ended up choosing meeting Dove Cameron because I knew we were probably going to end up getting another dog because now we have two.
Well, I see your dog Oreo is there on screen with you guys tonight. So obviously that wish came true. So, well, now that we know what you wished for, I want to back up a little bit, Shay, and ask you and your family if you could share with us what qualified you to receive a wish.
I have heterotaxy, which is a life-threatening disease, and that is why I was qualified for a wish.
Yeah. And Mike and Colleen, can you share with us a little bit about kind of your journey with Shay and when you were first introduced to the wish process?
Great, huh?
Sure. So, so ironically, Shay started a little bit of outreach prior to her wish, and that's how we met her wish granter. She had started, so let me back up. With heterotaxy, she has a congenital heart defect, and that has really been her life-threatening illnesses. She's had a number of open heart surgeries, and as part of that, has received many blood products. And so as a result, we as a family talked about sponsoring a blood drive, and Shay wanted to sponsor a blood drive for Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week. So, and that's in February. So every year she she sponsors this blood drive in attempt to give back and then pay forward what she received as she was going through her surgeries. And so her wish maker saw an article in the newspaper about Shay and her blood drive, and so reached out to us and asked and just shared a little bit of information about Make-A-Wish. And it was interesting because at the time, both Mike and I, not knowing a whole lot about the families that receive wishes and kids that receive wishes, we said, well, thank you, but we want to say these wishes for kids who we certainly don't have a lot of money, but at the same time, we thought we have a comfortable life, and let's allow other families who really, need the wishes or would benefit from the wishes financially to receive those. So anyways, Kimberly was great about, our wish grantor was great about walking us through what Make-A-Wish does and what a wish does truly for a child and their family. And so, and she was right. I mean, it's more than getting a puppy or going on a trip or just meeting Dove. Definitely. Yeah. And so I think I talked a lot. I answered probably a lot of questions.
Well, I know you haven't talked a lot, but I think I might add a follow-up to that is, Shay, when you got to go and got to experience this, and Mike and Colleen, maybe you can add some color commentary to this, but what was that experience like? Was it seamless? Were you surprised by all the things that happened to you? I know we got to see some photos of the week that you spent down in California. Shay, what do you remember?
Well, it was, let's just say it wasn't what I expected at all in a great way. Well, it was either our first or second night there, but someone paid for our dinner because they saw our Make-A-Wish buttons. And
Just a random thing.
yeah, just someone who we didn't even know, who just saw it and was like, oh, let's take it to dinner. And then just from there, so many other things kept happening.
And Kimberly had forewarned us that the t-shirts and the buttons would be magic. And and Kimberly's really good. And there she is in the picture with Shay. But you kind of, as a parent, you're like, okay, that's you're supposed to say that. But once we left the house, we get to the airport, and in the Pullman airport, they went crazy about welcoming Shay, and then we get on the plane.
Oh,
go ahead.
there was an announcement in the airport, at the Pullman airport, which isn't that big.
Yeah. And then, but really, when we got to LA, we went to check into the hotel. She said, okay, I got everything in there on the 5th floor. And she looked up first floor, and she looked up and saw Shay's button. And she said, oh my gosh, you're with Make-A-Wish. And what did she do? 20th floor, up to the 20th floor we go. And everywhere we went, it was like we had this magic potion with us. And Kimberly had warned us this would happen. Wear your shirts, wear your buttons, and you'll be surprised at what Make-A-Wish will do for your family. And she said it, and it was hard to believe it. And after you got home, you realized how much she understated it. And the power of Make-A-Wish and how it changed the trip. And it reminds you so much of just the power of the human spirit, the true desire of people to help other people. It was amazing. That's the part that I won't forget.
That's awesome. So that's a perfect segue, Mike. It's as if you knew what the next question was going to be. But now with 3 of you, and you're reflecting back on the wish and on the wish experience, what does it mean to you now? How does it impact your family today?
Well, to me, it goes back to the origin of the lemonade stand. When you asked Mom. I don't have others.
Oh, well, every year we do the Make-A-Wish lemonade stand, which it's incredible because it fundraises so much money to help kids get their wishes granted who are waiting. And I think someone, I forget who I heard this from, but someone said the average of waiting time is 6 months to a year. just because of everything that has to happen before a wish can be granted. And the lemonade stand is, the money helps the wishes be granted, and that's just part of the whole process.
It really started because Colleen looked at Shay and said, well, I got to go on a wish. Can we help other kids have wishes? And then Colleen and Kimberly connected, and it kind of went bonkers from there.
And so did you know, Colleen, all along that a lemonade stand was going to be the activity? How did the idea of the lemonade stand come about?
Yeah, well, Kimberly's actually, her two kids, similar to you, grew up in this household with a lot of, philanthropy. And so seeing their mom grant wishes over the years said, we want to help. And so they had actually started the lemonade stand. So, yeah. So her two kids, Marissa and Jack, started the lemonade stand either a year or two before.
I think it was two.
And it was kind of a small neighborhood lemonade stand, but they were doing their part and they raised money and they donated it all to Make-A-Wish. And so when Shay decided, how can we get involved too? Kimberly and our family, well, really the whole family and our family teamed up and thought, all right, let's do this. How can we make this bigger? And each year it's kind of evolved, changed a little bit here and there, and especially with COVID. But we added a bake sale, and it's changed a bit over the year, and mostly because people really want to get involved, which has been fantastic because new ideas are thrown in and others come in and help, and why not? It's really grown to a community-wide event.
Okay, well, it's different than any lemonade stand. I'm sure many of us on this call, maybe as kids, sat out in front with our little card table and our 60 cups full of lemonade, and mom and dad each bought a cup for 5 cents or whatever. But in that first year, did you know that something was special when you started to see, Pullman's not as big as some metropolises, and yet you're still raising thousands of dollars? What kind of shocked you as you saw your community come together in that first couple of years?
Yeah, and to me, the crazy part, I clearly remember Colleen saying, can we raise $500? And I said no. And I happened to be a development officer in my day job. And while we've never done any grassroots, it shows you what I know about grassroots fundraising. And the support of the community, and I think it does start with the brand that Make-A-Wish is, and people understand very clearly how they're helping another child and a family that's facing a situation worthy of support. And then you mentioned Pullman's small, but the benefits of the smaller community, the local radio station, it's in the newspaper, some of these things that help get the word out, but mostly it's just a great cause. And Jack and Marissa and Shay and the moms and the neighbors, it's out of this world. It's so cool.
And if I could add on to that, the first year I started helping out, which was 2018, I think our original goal was $200. And what did it end up to be in 2018?
About 4,000.
Yeah, I thought it was somewhere around that, and that was amazing. We're all just like, wow.
Hey, how much did you guys raise this year? Just this year, and your
Gosh, I don't even remember.
A little over 17.
a little over $17,000
Yeah.
at a lemonade stand. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And in the 4 years that you guys have run it, it's been a little over 40,000. Is that right?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think too, just to piggyback on what Mike and Shay were saying, as far as our community goes, it was amazing to see the following, even from blood drive to lemonade stand, just also recognizing a name and a cause, like as Mike was saying, just people wanting to contribute to a great cause and to help others and to help a family. And so we see a regular following that way, as well as, for instance, in Pullman, the police department and the fire department will have a competition. So they challenge each other who can raise more money for the lemonade stand. So it's that part of it, I think, just how engaged and annually how engaged everybody is in our community. It's just been, it's incredible. It's so touching.
Well, the pictures, you have to, I think it helps to see the pictures. Because you see,
Yeah.
it really is, I mean, it's a big lemonade stand, but it really is, quote, just a lemonade stand and a bake sale.
Yeah.
And people don't believe that. And the COVID, we almost canceled that, but the benefit of COVID is we created the website because we thought we might have to send people to the website. And that was a bit of a game changer. But ultimately, the part that's amazing to me, there are no committees, there's no meetings, there's no corporate sponsors. It's 3 kids and their friends and 2 moms and their friends and neighbors, and a really, really giving community. And a great brand. Again, you couldn't do this for WSU or for some of these other worthy causes. It's Make-A-Wish drives it, and the help we get from the staff and those sorts of things. But it's a lemonade stand. This is not corporate America driving philanthropy. No.
And there were some people who came up from Lewiston because they heard it on the radio, or just where we were.
Like an hour away.
Yeah. Dropped in like $100 and didn't want anything. They're just like, no, we heard it on the radio. We want to come donate, but we don't want anything. Thank you. Kind of thing. We just want to help. Kind of thing.
That's really incredible. Well, Shay, I think, when I heard your mom and she talked about how you initially did the outreach for the blood drives and then got involved with your friends for the lemonade stand, clearly philanthropy is also part of your family. So why do you guys think that that's been important for you as a group to work on this cause or any other cause together?
Okay.
So the lemonade stand, it's important to me and all of us because it helps other kids get the chance like I did. And when they get a wish, they have a chance to be a normal kid. Because if you have a life-threatening disease, and I personally know this because I've been through it, you're always in the hospitals or doctor's offices, and it is not fun. So a wish is one of those things that helps you completely forget about it for a little while and just know that there is hope. And then the blood drive that we do, I relied on blood products to survive for all of my surgeries. So it's like, I know how much I relied on it. So I want other kids to have the blood products that they need to survive.
I think Shay's answer was awesome, but ultimately, when you have the ability to help others and you've been helped by others, let's pay it forward. And to your point, Melissa, yes, for us, Make-A-Wish is really important, but volunteer to drive to deliver Meals on Wheels, or which we've done, or go rake the leaves at church, which we've done. It's those acts of kindness where you're giving back to your community. Community is important, and how you choose to be a member of a community, it's a two-way street. You benefit from your community, and so pay it forward. Is that fair, Colin?
Absolutely. And I think, Shay, you mentioned the word hope.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge because, I think in all of philanthropy, really, what is it about, right? I mean, we're giving to others and you have hope for whatever it is that you're giving to, whether, whether you're inspiring your child to be the giver or you're giving to individuals or a group, you're providing hope. And I think without hope, we don't have anything, or not just we as a family, but people in general. Everybody needs hope to conquer whatever it is that they want to conquer, or to go on and do the things that they want to do, or the things they need to do. And so I think that that's a big part of our giving too. We know what that hope does for us. We know what philanthropy in any shape or form does for others.
Yeah, that is really powerful. Hope is a huge word here at Make-A-Wish. We use it often, and it has great meaning, as you know, in your own lives, to wish families. And so my last question before we wrap this part up is, if there were folks on this call or that were reaching out to us saying, gosh, I'm not really sure how to, I'm interested, but I'm not really sure, what would you tell other families who want to give back to Make-A-Wish?
I think you can really, I don't know if it's like start anything is the right way to say this, but even if you did start a lemonade stand, it has the potential to become something like a whole community event instead of just, you know, your small neighborhood, which that is one of the best ways to start. And I mean, anything you can think of that would help raise money or whatever else you wanted to help with. Start whatever you think would work out for your ability, for what you can do to help.
I love that answer. Thank you, Shay. And
And
thank
I
you
say-
so much.
I
Go
would
ahead.
say just go for it, because whatever it is, whatever you're passionate about, or whatever, you know, whatever drives you, I think go for it. Because for us, we know that the impact that we make on others, that impact that is that same amount to us. You know, we get back just as much or more than we give. I mean, that's one of our best days of the year. Shay always says a lemonade stand is her favorite day of the year, and that surpasses birthday and Christmas. And
I said favorite day of the summer.
Her birthday's in March.
Yes, my birthday is in March.
I think the other part, you know, Shay hit it on the head. These kids that have faced challenging times. The idea that there's an experience for them that gives them an hour, a moment, a day, a week, or if it's a puppy, maybe years, where they're not thinking about that next trip to the doctor or that next surgery. Those kids have already had tough times. Let's create moments or times that are great times. They've already dealt with the tough stuff, and they may have more in the future. So let's do our part to create good days or great days or one of a kind days. That's for me, that's the piece that Make-A-Wish does that a lot of other worthy causes can't do. Make-A-Wish does that.
that medicine cannot do. Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, I want to say thank you, all three of you, Shay, Mike, and Colleen, for sharing your family's incredible story with us and for inspiring us all to think about how we can make the world a better place. And it really starts at home. And, you know, with just a great idea and a couple of kids who want to sell some lemonade, maybe a card table, or if you want to do a penny drive or a bake sale, or you name it. I think, Shay, you hit the nail on the head when you said the sky's the limit, whatever your interest is, whatever your ability is. And you know, at Make-A-Wish, we have lots of great ways that children and families can begin this work at home and begin to talk a little bit about, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So I'm going to ask my colleague, Jessica Quijada, to share a little more information about ways that you can help.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to share how I work with kids and adults who want to raise money for Make-A-Wish. And as Melissa said, sometimes it's as simple as a penny drive, and other times it can be as grand as a golf tournament. So we're excited to share some things that you can do as a family to help Make-A-Wish. And one of those things is exactly what Shay and her friends in Pullman have done. It is to have a lemonade stand. Lemonade stands are a great introduction to philanthropy for kids of all ages, and they're simple to produce. And we're hoping that next summer we have lemonade stands benefiting Make-A-Wish all over Alaska and Washington. So get your lemon juicers ready. We also have a program called Ribbons and Bows, And this is a program where a family is matched up with a wish child, either to put the finishing touches on their wish or to provide hope to them as they wait for the wish. So the family purchases items for the child either in store or online, and then Make-A-Wish will deliver those to the child. We also have a new national partnership with Coinstar, and these are the coin counting machines in most grocery stores. So you can gather up your loose change, you can host a penny drive with your family or your neighbors, and you simply take it to the grocery store that has Coinstar and select Make-A-Wish as the charity, and the funds will come to our chapter. We also have a fun opportunity for greeting wish families at the airport when they travel. Now, this program is currently on hold because we don't have very many travel wishes going on right now, but pre-COVID, we had about 300 wish families traveling every year, and we expect to ramp that back up, hopefully pretty soon. So families can go to the airport. The parent or guardian needs to be an approved airport greeter, but then the whole family can go. You can have signs and you can send off a family or welcome them back. We also have a holiday campaign called Families for Wishes. And this is an online fundraiser that is promoted during December for families to give back during that giving season. Or you can do it any time of year by hosting a birthday fundraiser. Make-A-Wish has a really simple online fundraising platform that you can make a page, and all funds will be directly donated to this chapter. And in general, we have programs for kids of all ages, kids who are in college. It could be a donation in lieu of a birthday gift. We've had chili cook-offs, we've had swim-a-thons, we've had really fun and creative things that families have done for Make-A-Wish, and we're here to help. We're here to help support you, and we would love to connect. After this call, we will be sending out a survey, and you can tell us how you want to be involved in Make-A-Wish, and we will get back in touch with you. Oh, Melissa, you're muted.
I can't unmute myself. Of course I am. Ah!
You're unmuted now.
I'm unmuted now. Okay. So thanks again, Jessica. It's really exciting to hear about all the great ways that many families have already engaged with us and how you might be able to engage with us, and that really children of all ages can be involved in our mission. And the sky's the limit. You know, whatever you can dream of or think of, reach out to us and we'd be happy to support you and think through how it might be possible. And now that you've heard from Shay and her family, and as well from Jessica, we'd love to hear from you. So if you have any questions, please pop them in the chat. I know we have a couple of questions, Sophie, that maybe have already been submitted. So I unfortunately am having weird computer issues, so I can't read the chat. So Sophie, you're gonna have to facilitate.
No problem. I was just putting the link to the survey that Jessica mentioned in the chat. So if you want to take a peek at that, you can tonight. We'll also send it out tomorrow. So one question that we had is, what are some ways that families or grandparents, aunts and uncles can talk to younger kids about what is Make-A-Wish and what do they do? So what are maybe some stories or resources that we could share to help families talk about what Make-A-Wish does?
You know, one of the most amazing things about wishes is that children dream of some really exciting things. And we've had several wish kids as for their wish, write children's stories with professional authors. And one of those books is called Wishes Are Medicine. And I think that Sophie's going to put the link into the chat on how you can find this book. But it's a really lovely story about a sea turtle. and it tells it through a child's lens, kind of what happens when a child gets sick, how a wish comes into their life, and what it does to bring them hope and joy. And so that's one great way. We have lots of stories and videos on our website. If you go to wish.org/AKWA, you can find our stories, the Alaska Washington Stories page, which I also think will be put up in the chat for you today. And we have hundreds of stories about wishes that are happening right now that you can read, videos that you can watch with your family. And we have another special wish that we granted, gosh, Alexis is probably in her teens now, so maybe it was 5 or 6 years ago, but we had a young wish child at the time who was going through treatment for leukemia, and her real desire was that she felt like her friends were not comfortable being around her because she was sick. And so for her wish, she wished to design a animated story about her challenges in a way that shows that even if you're experiencing sickness, that you can battle back and that it takes the whole community. So it's a really lovely story about a princess who fights the dragon leukemia and brings her friends together along with her. And it's a really lovely video. It's very short, maybe 4 minutes long, that you could also show to your family. So it's a great way to kind of begin that conversation. And I think that there are many, many more stories out there that we have on our YouTube page, videos of kids receiving their wish and seeing their journeys from the moment that they learned about their wish all the way through the final wish delivery.
Love that. Thank you, Melissa. And yes, I did put all those links in the chat, so feel free to peek through there. We have another question come in, which I'm hoping maybe Shay might want to answer. So Josh, who is 7, is wondering if you think a hot chocolate stand in the winter would be a good idea. What do you think?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that would be a wonderful idea. It's in the winter, and that
You have hot chocolate every night.
I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
It's a great idea.
I think it's a wonderful idea. Yeah, anything that you can do to help is wonderful. So yeah, I'd say go for
Send us the address. We'll see if we can swing by.
it.
I love it. Yes. And everyone in the chat is saying definitely go for the hot chocolate. And it looks like Andy, who's 9, is thinking about doing some type of bike racing. I love those ideas. Those are so creative. And I think everyone could get on board with that. Good ideas.
Yes, you have to share your dates and times so that we can all come out and cheer. And I know that hot chocolate is really big here in the Arias household. And so we would love to come and buy a cup of hot chocolate on a cold winter evening and enjoy it with all of you.
Okay. Let me just catch up here on the chat. Final questions. We want to make sure you can get back to your evenings. Anyone have any final questions? For Jessica or Melissa, Shay, Colleen, or Mike? Also an idea for a piano concert. Man, the Hobbs family has all kinds of great ideas over there. So I know that, Shay, Colleen, and Mike, you talked about why it's important to give back, but if you had to give one piece of advice for someone who was starting a new fundraiser to support Make-A-Wish, what would it be? What would your one piece of advice be?
I think that just start doing whatever you think is right to help make a wish, and you never know what it might evolve into.
I would add to that, reach out to Melissa or the team, because there's great support on the staff at Make-A-Wish. They will help in this journey. And then, yeah, I'd go with Shay, go for it. Colin, what was that?
I love those 3 words, go for it. And as I said earlier, the impact that you make on others is so powerful, but you get that right back. And so it's a two-way street and it's win-win.
And
Yeah.
keep saying Make-A-Wish. The
Yeah.
brand will help drive the success. There's no doubt about it.
Awesome. Well, we just can't thank you all for giving us 45 minutes of your night tonight, for listening to the Shay and Colleen and Mike and their incredible journey to take a little lemonade stand idea and turn it into an amazing gift that will benefit many children. And I know will go on for years to come. And so we're so excited to be part of that. And I think as just kind of a closing remark, and then I'll turn it back to Sophie, is the best way to get your families involved in philanthropy is just to start somewhere. Talk to them about the things that you care about. Talk to your children about the choices that you make. Let them see you do the work, and support them when they come up with ideas. So, Sophie, do you have anything last before we go?
No, just thank you everyone so much for joining us this evening, and we'll send all those links again tomorrow. So the survey, if you're interested in getting started, and the link to the book and the different wish stories and video that you could look together and read over as a family, is a great place to get started. And just to reiterate what Mike and Colleen and Shay said, reach out to us. We're here to help and brainstorm, and we'd love to partner with you. So thank you so much to Shay, Colleen, and Mike for sharing your story with us, for everyone that came in tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thanks so much.